Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel Cush, and today I'm going to do a farmhouse table restoration video. So this is a little bit different kind of video for me, but I did a farmhouse restoration to a table we purchased, and I love the way it turned out, so I really wanted to share the whole process with you. To be honest, in the beginning, I just started filming because I was like, well, if this turns out good, then I can share how I did it, and then if it turns out horrible, we don't have to show anyone. But I love the table. It is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So we moved into our new house in September, and we didn't have a dining space at our old apartment, so I never had a dining room table. I also really like the farmhouse style tables, and I started looking around but didn't find anyone that was like, I don't know, quite perfect. So what I did was I decided to look up some restoration videos, see how the process went, and then determine that I thought I could probably just do it myself. So in September, we purchased a secondhand table off of Offerup. I'm pretty sure we paid $50 for it. It's a pub height dining room table that seats, I think, normally 4 and then seats 8 with a leaf because it turns into this like giant square. And so it also came with 8, I think it came with 8 chairs, but 4 only, I can tell that 4 came with the original set. I think they purchased 4 additional chairs. So the chairs that I took all the chairs because I didn't know how hard it would be to like refinish them. So I figured it would be good to have 4 extra chairs just in case I messed it up. But I'm going to place a couple pictures right here of what the table looked like on Offerup. Just some snaps of like the table, the leaf, and then I think I have a couple pictures of the chairs. And then the first thing that I realized we needed to do was strip what they already had on the table off. And that was a coffee colored stain. I didn't love it. And I knew that I wanted the table to be white with a really light top. And I actually didn't decide what to do with the chairs until after I had really started working on the table. We ended up doing white vinyl seat covers and reupholstering them, and then just sanding the table and the chairs down and using a really light stain. I think it was called warm oak. It kind of matches our kitchen cabinets, and that's why I went with it. Plus it gave it like a lighter, airier feeling than the really dark coffee stain that was on it before. So basically I did clips of us sanding the table, and I can actually put some pictures here too. What it looked like, some of the snaps of the table as it was being sanded, how you can see the difference between how dark the stain is and how light the wood underneath was. And then what else? I have some pictures of me staining the table, I think. And it's really just funny because I at first thought it would be a lot harder to do this than it was because I was hand sanding the table. But then I borrowed a friend of ours, they have a power sander, and that really changed how quickly we got the table sanded. There is some edge working to the table, and I kind of go over that, how we handled that, because it didn't do so well with the power sander. And after that, we ended up using a base coat. I will link everything we used in the description because some of the names are kind of hard to pronounce and I don't want to mess them up. But we used a dual coat primer, and then we used Benjamin Moore paint, and we used warm white, I think is the color. And then we used between 4 and 5 coats of polyurethane on top, and we used a polyurethane that was water-based. So I will start inserting clips here, but basically the process was sand the table, prime the legs and the base of the table, stain the top, and everything that we did to the table, we also did to the leaf insert, obviously, so that it matched so we have the option to use it in the future. And then after that, after all of the primer was dry, then we did 2 coats of paint. And we also, like I said, did 4 to 5 coats of the polyurethane over the stained tabletop to protect it once it's in the house. And at the end, I will be sure to include some clips of the table in our dining room, what it looks like. I love the way it looks. I think it turned out really nice. But here we go. So first I'm going to do some clips of us sanding, then doing the poly coat, then the painting. I hope you enjoy the step-by-step process of how to do your own farmhouse table restoration. All right, so basically right now I'm using a power sander. It's got a filter on it. I'm hoping that a little bit of this will get pushed out. So anyways, I've got it plugged in over here in the garage, and then I'm just gonna continue sanding exactly like I did here, down to this grain. So the hardest part so far has been like this edge piece, and I might actually have to go and get some special sanding paper. But this side of the table has a bunch of chunks missing, so this is where it's gonna get interesting. So hopefully this doesn't dust up too much and you guys can kind of see what I'm doing, but do a little time lapse of this part of the table because it's very satisfying to see. I actually meant to tell you that I'm using 80 grit sandpaper, so that this is going to be one of 3 sands I do. I'm starting with 80. I'll go to 120, and then 220, I think, are the other 2 I have. But yeah, I'm going to use the roughest sanding disc first to get this like heavy finish off, and then I'll move to some finer sandpaper. Okay, back to work. Okay guys, so what I'm doing today is I'm sanding the legs of this table. This is gonna help the paint stick to it. This is what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna show you how I'm gonna sand the legs. I'm gonna do this for the whole bottom of the table, any part that's getting painted. So here we go. I put on 2 coats of primer, and I use this Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Ultra Cover. It's in flat white, but it's got double cover technology, and actually, even on the first coat, I really felt like it was covering really well. And then, but I did a second coat anyways because the paint or the wood was super dark under here. And then I'm using Dunn Edwards Warm White, and I've just done 1 coat, and it's looking really good. I do think it'll need a second coat. I put a second coat of primer on the leaf, and now I just did 1 coat of paint on the table. Even though it feels dry, I'm gonna just let it dry overnight. And in the meantime, I'm gonna polyurethane the top. And here we have a water-based polyurethane. I'm using Varathane, I think it is, Ultimate Polyurethane. It is water-based. And then I got a crystal clear satin stain. And as you can see, I've already stained this with warm oak. Oh, that's cool. It's like a milky color. I think one of the things that I'm learning is that, you know, you can look up a lot of stuff online, but until you like get down and start working on your table, you may not know how many coats of everything you need. I did, however, get some very good advice on the polyurethane to do at least 3 coats, if not 5. I also bought a new brush for this because I wasn't sure if any of the paint would come off when I was doing that. So. All right, guys, and that is it for now. Tomorrow I'm going to put another coat of this on and probably a second coat of paint. So good night. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and kind of my process to getting our farmhouse table. I really love it. I think the total that we spent to get the table done was maybe $100. I have to check, but I'll probably leave a total in the description box. And a link to everything we use so that you guys can possibly try to do your own farmhouse restoration. If you like this type of video, be sure to follow the channel and give this video a like, because I will continue doing a couple more furniture restorations. I really like to make stuff my own. It's hard to find exactly what you like, and I actually found restoring that table kind of fun. So keep a lookout for more videos like this. Thanks for stopping by.